accident,
Thanks to the prime
as
lure.
authorities, despite their rigorous inspection of the site, were unable to prove that it was.
Why was Ron so upset? It was his wife fucking another man.
The police ruled
He should be
that
happy to the letter writer.
was
The chilling case of Circleville letter writer. Ooh, okay. Never heard of that. The chilling case of the Circleville letter writer. So he just wrote letters? Alright, I'll get to the bottom of this. There's no, like, bodies in here, is there?
Terrifying prospects of a mystery is an unknown perpetrator pulling the strings, dedicating time and effort in order to torment others over long stretches of time. While it takes many people to make a community great, it only takes one to blanket it all in fear and leave people wondering behind locked doors and closed curtains if they'll be next. This episode of Seriously Strange is brought to you in part by Raid Shadow Legends.
Nice.
An impressive mobile game.
Wow, 2019. This guy was an early adopter of Raid Shadow Legends. Nice work, Rob.
Community of Circleville, Ohio in 1976.
I haven't heard of that.
A storm of anxiety and fear was heading for Circleville from nearby Columbus, Ohio. The storm came in the form of anonymous letters, postmarked but without a return address.
This is scary.
Just as they were surely intended. The letters reached numerous people throughout Circleville. Unwitting recipients opened the envelopes to find a strangely written letter. This letter contained what just about anyone would fear. The writer somehow knew some of the darkest, most intimate secrets of the residents of Circleville.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Sometime later, an anonymous letter ended up in the hands of a bus driver named Mary Gillespie. In the letter, the writer had accused the married woman of something that shocked her, an affair. Mary had been in a faithful marriage with her husband Ron for years.
Is this all made up? Is this real?
Certainly wasn't having an affair. But the letter was a bit more specific. The writer claimed that they knew Mary was having an affair with the superintendent of the school system, Gordon Massey. Mary, being a bus driver, understood the possible complications that would arise if this kind of rumor were to begin spreading around. But there was no hiding it. The Circleville letter writer wouldn't have that. Eventually, word did get around, like so many other rumors did concerning others.
Don't know about that one,
The
Cole.
people
Probably can't
of
watch
Circleville were starting to look at each other differently, as this unknown entity seemed hell-bent on destroying and exposing their lives.
It's kind of their fault, though, right? Like, you're fucking the superintendent?
Received his own letter.
Kind of your fault.
And Mary remained steadfast against the rumors, insisting on her faithfulness and integrity. But all they could wonder
this does seem very
fake. The accusation was coming from, and who was making it to begin with. Who was dedicating countless hours to writing the anonymous letters which tormented the residents of Circleville. Sometime after what most people feared could happen, did happen. Things escalated in an even darker turn of events.
Voicemails.
Specifically for Mary.
Oh, shit.
She received another letter from the anonymous writer. In it, they said, "Gillespie, you have had 2 weeks and done nothing. Admit the truth and inform the school board. If not, I will broadcast it on CBS, posters, signs, and billboards."
Yeah, I'm sure CBS cares about Mary fucking the superintendent of a small town.
The family more than the previous letters had. So Mary and Ron got together with people they were closest with to discuss what possible actions to take. Among them was Ron's sister and her husband, Paul Freshour. Unfortunately, they were fighting an unseen enemy with copious amounts of time and willpower on their side. and with an ability to remain undetected.
This kind of sucks. It's pretty
One
lame.
particular letter turned up the heat. It read, "Stay away from Massey. Don't lie when questioned about knowing him. I know where you live. I've been observing your house and know you have children. This is no joke. Please take it serious. Everyone concerned has been notified, and everything will be over soon." Whoever this writer was, they made the Gillespies fear for the lives of their children. In 1977, the year after the letters
Most
began,
likely Postman
the
did
letters
it.
suddenly stopped.
Yes.
A quiet relief began to fall on the town as each resident hoped that the nightmare was finally over and they would no longer need to fear walking to their own mailbox. They'd no longer need to be paranoid if someone was watching them day in and day out, jotting down their secrets.
This is pretty underwhelming.
No one was looking.
Super goofy.
But it wasn't over. If anything,
Thanks to Resub
they were
Wilderness.
only at the very beginning. On August 17th of that same year, the Gillespie household received not a letter, but a phone call. Ron answered the phone and got into a heated discussion with whoever was on the other line. It was so heated that Ron, after a short time, slammed down the phone, grabbed his handgun, and ran out to his car without saying a single word to Mary. He slammed on the gas and drove off.
Holy shit,
That's
Ron.
when Mary's worst nightmare came to pass. Ron never returned home.
What
He was
in the
found
fuck?
later, dead. His car had crashed into a tree and Ron was dead behind the wheel. Upon inspection by authorities, Ron's handgun had been fired. Yet there was no known cause for this. It was unlikely that the gun had been fired as a result of the accident.
Thanks to the Prime
as
Lure.
authorities, despite their rigorous inspection of the site, were unable to prove that it was.
Why was Ron so upset? It was his wife fucking another man.
The police ruled
He should be
that the
happy to the letter
accident
writer.
was caused by Ron driving drunk. Those who knew him said he never even drank heavily. Shortly after that, the letters made a return, and the sheriff was one of the people targeted. His letter accused him of conducting a cover-up based on Ron Gillespie's accident, that drunk driving wasn't the actual cause at all.
Thanks to Resubgenix, Sinister,
Why
and
the
the Prime
Circleville
Quentin.
letter writer was angry about this was unknown,
Resub Big Bat.
considering that it's been speculated that Ron was driving to find them. Perhaps the letter writer did come into contact with Ron once he had left his home. Perhaps he caused Ron's death, and maybe he was angry that he didn't get the credit he was due for it.
What do you mean? Why would he get credit? He hit a
once
fucking
more,
tree.
The town of Circleville
He didn't put the tree
felt
there.
the same sense of dread and fear that plagued their everyday lives. The letters were back in full force, and the culprit
Hey, thanks
was
for 5
no
gift subs,
closer
Lamb
to
Scooch.
being
Thank you, man.
caught. In a bizarre turn of events, Mary and the superintendent of schools, Gordon Massey, did confirm that they were indeed carrying on a relationship. However, they both insisted that the relationship only began after they had received letters. They connected due to the allegations and ended up becoming closer as a result, in some strange form of a self-fulfilling prophecy. That aside, the letters continued to flow. It went on like that for 7 years. The letters just continuing to come, with authorities having no way of finding out who was sending them. Mary and Gordon Massey continued to receive especially threatening letters. Then one day, while Mary was driving back along her bus route after dropping off her passengers, she was mortified to discover that the street was lined with signs, each one directed at Mary and carrying the same threatening.
This does not seem like a real story. Hold on, I just gotta look it up. This really seems super fucking fake. Nope, it's real. In 1976, they called him the Poison Pin Murderer. Oh, it looks like they have a few leads on the case. Yeah, I'll try not to spoil the anime ending, I guess. But yeah, I guess it is real, at least according to these news outlets. Thanks for resub Badger and Liam from the Bits Batman.
Shockingly, no one saw who put the signs up.
And the resub
It was
Luke.
as if they were dealing with a ghost. But Mary had had enough. She got out of the bus and stormed up to the first sign, which was stuck on a fence post. She took the sign down without realizing just how much danger she was in by doing so. Her surprising calmness when removing the sign
Why was she in danger?
saved her life, as the sign had been rigged as a trap.
What?
It was connected to a small box. Inside the box was a pistol aimed right at Mary's face, with wire connected to the trigger.
Who is this?
The
Jigsaw?
handgun trap was designed so that if someone aggressively ripped down the sign, it would have gone off. Mary gathered everything up carefully, put it all on the bus, and drove home to
Thanks to
contact
resub Pepper
the
and
police.
Snake.
The police arrived
Thanks,
and
Ray.
disabled
Thanks for
the
the Prime,
trap
J&J.
before confiscating the handgun. When they inspected it closer, they noticed that the serial number on the weapon was partially scratched off, but not entirely. It was enough to trace the handgun back to a man that Mary knew personally, Paul Freshour, her former brother-in-law.
Ooh.
The same man that had offered her support through the terrifying ordeal which lasted a long 7 years was allegedly the culprit behind the dread
Paul,
of
you son of a
Circleville.
bitch.
However, on October 24th,
Thanks for resub,
1983,
Dan.
Paul stood trial, and due to the firearm and a penmanship test that was found to be inconclusive, a jury sent Paul to prison for a sentence ranging from 7 to 25 years. It appeared as though Circleville was finally through what would have been
Until
the worst
Paul
ordeal
escaped.
to ever sweep through the
He
quiet
mailed
town.
himself like a letter and
Oddly
popped
enough,
out.
Even after Paul was behind bars, the letters made a powerful return. For some time longer, the residents would, yet again, be pinned under the immense weight of their fear and paranoia. Perhaps the strangest part of all was that Paul Freshour also received his own letter, the writer laughing at him. The letter stated partially, "Are you going to believe you aren't getting out of there? I told you 2 years ago. We
What?
set 'em up, they stay set up. Don't you listen at all? No one wants you out. No one. The joke is on you. Ha ha. Tell no one of this letter." Despite this, Paul did the remainder of his time,
Okay.
being released after around 10 years.
Yeah, I guess it's
in
just the
prison.
Joker.
He maintained his innocence without wavering until his death in 2012. So, what do you think? Was Paul guilty of being the Circleville letter writer, or did he just take the fall? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe.
I don't fucking think Paul did it. I can't believe that's a real fucking story. That sounds so made up. Thanks to the resub, bro. And they keep saying that the whole town was terrorized by letters, but we only got two people getting letters. Who else got letters in Circleville? Let's see. Paul did admit to Sheriff Radcliffe that he had written between 40 and 50 of the Circleville letters. So I'm guessing it was just a copycat. Recent information uncovered by Martin Yant has suggested that there were at least 3 letter writers in the case, none of whom were Paul. One believed to be the son of the superintendent Mary had the affair with, second, co-worker who was infatuated with Mary, and third, Paul's ex-wife, Ron's sister. Jesus, okay. Not exactly a mystery. Well, I guess it is a mystery. But there's nothing we can piece together. So, I mean, Paul did admit to it. Everything kind of checks out for Paul. Thanks to Tier 1 Fish in the resub Kilcreath. Though, to be fair, Mary immediately going to the superintendent after Ron's death is kind of suspicious. Though I don't think she was writing the letters herself. I also really don't know why Ron went to kill the man who wrote the letter that was informing him that his wife was cheating. He should have been shaking the letter writer's hand. See, like, I already like the conversation happening in chat right now from the people that have seen it on whether or not it's actual shit or a kebab. That's what's so beautiful about it. While we compared it to that blue dress that went viral on Twitter a while ago, everyone sees something different, whether it's poop or a kebab. I'm literally shitting right now. How does that help in the investigation, man? Here's my theory. It's like Schrodinger's cat. It is both shit and a kebab until you take a bite of it and taste it. Only then will you know its true form. Alright, I'm just gonna let it ride. Fuck it. I need to know.
Trust me, I wouldn't come back unless I had something important to talk about. And boy, do I. This photo, this single disgusting photo of a kebab has haunted my friend group, my thoughts, my emotions for nearly 2 years.
See, like, you don't know if it's poop or a kebab.
Taking you on a journey of people were offended. It reminded me of the blue dress photo that went
I think that's a great comparison.
The longer I stared at it, the more it would become something else. At first glance, it kind of looks like shit, but when you really start staring at it, I've seen kebab that looks like that. This photo became a bit of a joke amongst my friends, where we. It
is quite the interesting conundrum.
Break out.
So this is where I stand on it.
He was retweeting something
I think it's probably bad kebab because there's no way someone took a shit that presentable into a box. There's no way. That would be like the actual cleanest shit imaginable. And there's no way they were able to fish it out of a toilet because then everything underneath it would be all soggy and wet and it wouldn't be all together anymore. I don't, like, that is a picturesque shit. That looks like gag poop that you'd find at like Spencer's in 2005. So I really think it's probably a kebab that's just trash, like a really bad kebab.
For us, Cray's DMs were open, so I DM'd him right away. So at this point, we have Justin Wang's tweet on December 16th.
God, this is so
Cray's tweet from
thoroughly investigated.
Both of these were in December, but we knew we had to find something older, and that's when we found the 9gag post. The post was found the first ever sighting of the turd kebab on the internet. Turkish Kebab House, a small, unassuming kebab shop located in Blackpool, United Kingdom. The first internet post of
How did they do that?
As far as we can tell, appears to be on a Google review under the photo section of said Turkish kebab house. We don't know the exact date it was posted, but we do know it was
like actual CSI shit.
According to
I don't think it's a pile of shit.
Family-friendly skate park after. Maybe you could justify him doing it if he uploaded it from a different account, but this was posted from the same account he reviewed a child's haircut from. It's just not adding up. The way I look at it,
it's just not a pile of shit. It just looks like it. 100%
shit for some crazy reason. Or so for starters, it has
that's pretty good.
3.6. That's not good.
No, that's higher than Burger King.
3.6.
And the shit kebab looks better than Burger King.
The surface here is
not some other thing.
She's gonna show him the shit kebab to his face.
That one is chicken and donut. Chicken and donut. And then that one as well.
Yeah, that one is chicken and donut as well. Yeah.
And then what about that one? What's that one?
Oh, it's not ours. Some people who doesn't like us.
Look at that picture.
It's normally a shit.
That is actually shit. Actually.
Who hates us?
Shit on
put it on the Google. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wait, what? So it's actually poop?
No, I've tried it, but
no.
Not only did they know about the photo, but they believe it to be a fake review. They appetizing. They definitely didn't look like the photo of the turd kebab. What are you? What was so frustrating about this is now the only option is that Lee R took a shit on a pita and uploaded it as a review.
I just don't think so.
There is a possibility, and get an expert's opinion. So I reached out to a gastroenterologist to get their opinion on it.
That is so smart.
I'm one of the
Holy shit.
Digestive Disease Associate. If it's a recent poop, probably.
I'm going to show you said image here.
He's got like an easel for it.
Here it is. And the grooves going through it. Do those look like something that?
The thing that throws me off is that there's little chunks in it.
Definitely could. It's potential. It's possibly poop. Yes.
If you had to pick a side, what do you think it is?
I think it's probably a kebab that looks like shit.
How, with all the correct...
Yeah, I really think it's a kebab
doctor,
too.
A gastroenterologist.
I really
Look at
do.
This photo. I reached out to a kebab expert here in San Diego to try to get another opinion on it.
Hi, my name is Mark Vasevis. I'm the chef at
the King of
Emerald
Kebab.
Restaurant. It's a family business.
Said that this was.
Who's he gonna interview next?
Did
Fucking
you
Batman
grow
or
up in the
something?
shop? Have you been around the shop your whole life?
This is thorough.
Yeah, so actually my story, background of what food is.
He's gonna
what
interview a
happens
pile
when
of
you
shit
spit,
next.
cool it and things like that.
Do you know this guy?
that we're trying to identify.
I would, that is not kebab, well.
Oh my
Okay.
god, it's even messing up
first
the
instincts
expert.
this is definitely ground. See where it comes from, because like I know the food from all the cultures. If this is some sort of kafta or like ground beef skewer, not cubed meat,
I'm starting to believe it might be poop.
they did a really bad job about it.
This guy looks like he's fucking traumatized right now. This man's seen millions of kebabs, and yet this one right here is making him reconsider his faith in God. Maybe it actually is shit. I was fully on the side of it's just a kebab that happens to look like shit. But after seeing this guy's, like, fear, I really think it might be shit. Yeah, this guy's going through, like the whole 5 stages of denial right now, and, like, grief, all of it, it's coming out.
I'm having a tough time kind of like figuring out these grooves, because when you cook meat, especially if it's ground, those grooves, yeah.
It's not typical.
No.
Well, the thing is, though, like, it can be, right? Like, you can get those grooves on, like a shitty sausage on a grill. Like, if you don't know how to grill something and you're, like, fucking grilling up a sausage or a hot dog, you can get those grooves. The grooves aren't what convinces me. What really convinces me is there's, like, little corn chunks or something that appear throughout that load. Like, the grooves aren't the smoking gun in my eyes.
More leads. We
have to find
what
Lee.
else to do. And with that, responds to my original DM. And not only does Cray respond to my original DM,
what a twist.
He's claiming that he is the one that took the photo. Here's where it came from. Yeah, of course, mate. What's my cut? I don't know if it was me being naive, but at the time, him asking me for money didn't really bother me. I was so caught up in finally getting
What a
an
fucking
answer to the story,
asshole.
I guess I didn't realize that him...
Bro, what kind of weirdo's like, yeah, I'll tell you where the poop comes from. How much you paying me? What the fuck? What an actual scumbag.
Leading with asking for money is a little odd, so I obliged that they had provided it. No idea why. I took the pic of it, but it was funny as fuck. Cray is claiming his friend...
Nah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
...at the Stevenage football arena.
No
they
chance.
They took a photo of it, and they uploaded it as a joke. So in order to get some more proof, I asked
That's a
him if he could
goddamn
send
lie.
me a photo, a screenshot of the photo in his camera roll when the photo was taken. June 2nd, 2020. This was the first problem. We have that photo dated on Google Review,
that was a lie.
posted by Lee R. in March of 2020. So after the date discrepancy, I
Very
decided
thorough,
to hit up
very
the
smart.
so-called PETA shitter himself, Cray's friend, Lewis. Or provide a post, anything that predates March 2020, I'll pay you and your boy. Don't worry about it. Giving you loads of answers for nothing. Going to football now. Didn't think you'd be like this. It's only a shit. It's only a shit, Lewis. It's only a fucking shit. You're only a fucking shit. You wanna be amateur football player? You're never gonna fucking make it, dude. Keep chasing.
True.
Keep hoping for a sponsorship, Lewis. It's just a turd.
Shitting in pitas and shitting on dreams.
Guys, let me ask you something.
Man,
if
fuck
I
Lewis.
offered you $500, which was my current offer, at that point I didn't really know what to do, and I'm being honest, there really wasn't anything we could do.
Until Lee R.
As
posted
if out
another
of
review.
nowhere, Lee R.
Yep.
posts a new
Yep.
review on Google.
Yep, I fucking saw that coming. There he is.
Lee R. different time zone. On that phone call, we'd have to convince the shop of the documentary we're doing, explain what's going on, and then convince them to use their business on Google
Mystery
to send
meat.
a message to this random guy for some dumb American YouTube channel.
And that's exactly what they
And
did.
that's exactly what
I mean, let's fucking go. I'm in his head right now. I feel like I'm investigating it now.
It's, what is it? It would be about 1 p.m. 1 p.m. in the UK.
Let's fucking go. We will find Lee R.
Currently going through
It's gonna end up being one of Wubby's friends.
reviews on Google. We're calling up Prestige.
The man cleanest to Wubby.
Cleaner. Sorry, I look so.
He He's getting so excited. I'm getting excited with him.
Getting on today. My partner was away diving today, so he's not available to sort of search that for you. And he was definitely Google review.
Yeah, it was 100% a Google review, yes.
Oh my god. We're so close. Lee R is right around the corner.
Okay, I appreciate it so much. Maybe?
Lee R is going to turn out to be DB Cooper.
Good? I feel like that was pretty good.
Couple days here and give you hope, but unfortunately, as I record this, Lee R has not responded in any way.
Man, what a fucking piece of shit. God damn it.
I do think that we'll get better results if I ask for your help.
I was going to say, that's definitely the play.
Information that leads to us
the arrest of Lee R.
Out the source of this photo. I'm offering up a $5,000 bounty.
Oh, wow.
Who Lee R is or what this photo is of. We found an Instagram of someone we thought was Lee R, and I did message them. If you're wondering why this wasn't in the video till now, it's because they never replied and we didn't think it was relevant. However, with the context now of the photo being removed, we have to look back at every single person we interacted with, and I'm starting to believe this Instagram account was actually Lee R's. They saw my messages and they went and deleted the photo. Motivation? I don't know why. Maybe they're scared. Maybe they think they're in trouble. Does that mean it's poop? Does that mean it's meat? I don't know. The photo's gone. I cannot believe a couple days before posting this.
Imagine being the guy behind that account. They're like, oh my god, fuck, someone finally saw that I shit in a pita. Oh my god, I'm going to jail. Jesus Christ. It's all over. Just fucking sweating. Staying up all night. Do I delete the photo? Oh my god. That's going to make me look even more guilty in the eyes of the law. And then just drinking yourself into a stupor, and then you just stumble to your keyboard and delete it. And now you've triggered all of Wubby's alarms, and he's hot on your tail. So you fucked up. It's like Death Note, but if Light was like shitting at kebab restaurants, I guess. What a storyline.
Moved. Hashtag turd kebab on Twitter. Any information, you can get $5,000. All right. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Real quick before the end.
Nice. What an incredible story. What a fucking story. After everything, after all the presented evidence, I am satisfied that it is a kebab that looks like shit. I still don't think anyone could successfully take a shit like that, ever, under no circumstances, or it is a gag poop that they put there as like a way of sabotaging the restaurant. It is either a kebab that looks like feces or a gag poop that they used as like a scathing review of the restaurant. I think those are the only two options. I don't think someone took a real shit that looked like that. The gastroenterologist recently changed his stance on it The gastroenterologist recently changed his stance to it being poop via a Twitter post. Or they ate the kebab first and then shit it out. That's like a sci-fi plot line. That doesn't exist. That's impossible. It's like some 2 girls, 1 cup shit. Why would they delete it if it's not? Alright, I'm going full detective. If that was legitimately the Instagram account of Lee R and they were worried about getting in trouble, the reason they would delete it is because it would be like a fraud. It'd be fraudulent, right? If they put like a gag poop on a pita in order to just leave a scathing review of a restaurant, they're lying and it's fraud. So they'd maybe be worried like they're going to sue me, they're going to come after me or something like that. They're investigating this now and they're going to find out that I, slandered committed libellous acts against their business here with this review and a fake picture of poop on a pita. Right? So there's plenty of reasons why they would remove that if it's not poop. Yeah, so it's still 60% on team shit side on the turd kebab. Which I guess makes sense. Most people seem to think it's shit. I initially did as well, but it just, I don't know. It seems really hard to have successfully shit on a pita that looks like that. Like, I don't know. They would have had to, like, shit onto, like a pan on a stove and cooked it a little bit in order for the shit to look like that, I think. Wubby's poll was split 50-50. Yeah. This is tough. I mean, it really is. That was a lot deeper than I would have expected it to be. That had a lot of depth to it. There's really no telling for sure whether or not it's poop or kebab until we get in contact with Lee R. And maybe if we're lucky, Lee R epoxied it or something to keep it. And then we can just crack it open like an Egyptian tomb. Really need a study done on fake poops. That's one thing I feel like Wubby overlooked, is the potential gag poop. So he could have reached out to like a fake dog shit manufacturer or something and gotten their perspective for another interview. I think that's the only thing that he missed for people to interview. Because that would have been really helpful. He's like, oh yeah, I actually recognize that. I sell that. Could it be an edited pic? Another possibility, but I think it's a little less likely that it's edited. I think it's either gag poop or just a kebab that looks like shit. Thanks to Prime Punk and the Bitsbrook. Because again, that Lee R account was leaving legitimate reviews on businesses around the area. Like for his son's haircut and shit, so it feels like it'd be weird if he just randomly decided to Photoshop a shitty kebab. They also scanned it for photoshopping. I might have missed that in the video then. Okay, so there was no edits then. Even better. But if it's actually kebab meat, would Lee admit it? Would Lee admit it was just a foul-looking kebab? No harm in an actual review photo. That's a good point. If it was just a really gross kebab, why would he delete it? That's also an interesting theory. I think what happened is after his agent Squiggles went in and showed the photo, the kebab shop contacted Google and got it removed. That's very possible. Because then at that point the kebab shop is like, okay, this photo is clearly hurting business. We want it taken down, so they contacted Google to do it. I think that's very likely.